Hello everyone, and welcome to the 2020 Pride Court Royalty Showcase. My name is Kareem Panton, and I'm the Graduate Assistant for Leadership Development and Programming in the Office of Student Leadership and Engagement. I'm also a 2019 Master's Graduate of the Pride and a 2022 PhD graduate to be. For those of you familiar with Pride Court, you'd recognize that one thing with the showcase this year is extremely different. We're completely online. With the current pandemic, unfortunately circumstances wouldn't allow us to have it on campus. That being said, we in the Office of Student Leadership and Engagement are very happy to see the continued support from our students and other campus partners to maintain this ongoing Hofstra tradition. And for those of you who aren't familiar with the Pride Court Showcase, allow me to give you a little background. Every fall, students in the graduating senior class are asked to apply to be members of the Pride Court. The strongest applicants are selected, our Pride Court members, and then they showcase their talents and go through brief Q&As at the Pride Court Royalty Showcase. The top 4 candidates are then crowned Hofstra Pride Court Royalty. Your vote this year will be counted through Get Involved HU, link in the description. Make sure that once this show ends, you go to Get Involved HU, RSVP for the event if you haven't already, and then I'll be sending out a post-event survey. That's how you'll actually be able to select your top 4 candidates via checkbox. In addition to your votes being tallied, we'll also be tallying points that will be given to the candidates from our 3 esteemed judges. Speaking of which, I believe it's around time we introduce them. Our first judge is Mr. Cornell Craig. Cornell is the Chief Diversity and Inclusion Officer for Hofstra University. He's been with the university for about a year and a half now and continues to work with students, faculty, and administration on Hofstra's ongoing diversity, equity, and inclusion efforts. Before the quarantine, you'd like to see Cornell at the gym or anywhere on campus sporting his trademark bow ties. Next, I'd like to introduce Gabby St. Leger. Gabby is the Dean of Students at Hofstra, and she oversees several offices, including the Office of Student Leadership and Engagement, the Office of Intercultural Engagement and Inclusion, Campus Recreation, and Residence Life. In her free time, Gabby really does enjoy stand-up comedy, but we've recently found out that she doesn't like anything horror or thriller, nothing to get her blood boiling. We imagine this makes Halloween a difficult time of year for her. And then lastly, I'd like to introduce Michael Martin. Mike Martin is the director of Hofcard Services. He's also a Hofstra parent with 2 children currently at the university, both majoring in accounting. In his free time, Mike has said that he's an avid Marvel Universe fan, and he has also ridden a Game of Thrones dragon or 2. We haven't found evidence of this just yet, but we'll keep you posted. And now that we have our introductions out of the way, I recognize that our winners will be announced on the Hofstra OSLE Instagram page once we tally all of the votes tomorrow night at 9 p.m. So, without further ado, allow me to introduce our first Pride Court member. Our first Pride Court member commutes from Queens, New York. She's a health science major and is the head commuter peer mentor in the Office of Commuting Student Services. She has also been the president of Imani Dance Ensemble and the Commuter Students Association for 2 years. Introducing Shania Figaro.
Hi everyone, thanks for coming.
Okay, Shania, your first question. What is your most meaningful experience at Hofstra?
My most meaningful experience at Hofstra was joining the Peer Mentor program. At first, I didn't really think much of it. I just wanted something to build my resume, but it actually ended up being a very life-changing experience for me. I was able to meet so many new commuters that I would have never met before, and they actually ended up being my mentors because what they would do is they would guide me on how to be a better leader and how to greet 500 plus commuters during the first day of Welcome Week, which can be pretty intimidating, but I felt like I had a support system with me because they were able to help me get through it. And after the Peer Mentor program finished, I still remained friends with a lot of these people, and they helped me really grow as a leader. So this year as a senior, I was able to be the head commuter peer mentor and help out these new mentors as they were trying to be a mentor for the first year students going through the pandemic. It was pretty tough, but I felt like I really was able to connect with students through Zoom because they were telling me all their concerns and what they were afraid of, being a college student during COVID-19. But I was able to take their concerns and match them up with the best peer mentor that would help them the most through their Hofstra journey. So I really felt like I was making an impact on people's lives and really just building our community.
And then your final question, Shania. If you could have dinner with one character from fiction, who would it be and why?
If I was to have dinner with any fictional character, it would be Melanie Cavill in the Snowpiercer show because she's underestimated as a woman and as an engineer, and she is the one behind saving the whole universe through a supernatural snowstorm that helps save the human race. So I would love to learn more about why she was able to do this. How was she able to create something so amazing and try to maintain human life? I think that's very interesting.
Awesome. Now that we've seen Shania's Q&A, let's hop into her talent. She's really prepared something special for us.
Lie. My brothers don't die, we just Vossi bot. So much Vossi, I might open up a Vossi shop. Mommy saying that I need to get some sleep. All this flying overseas is always at my body clock. And all this stress has got me racking up my brain. So tell these little fishes back up off my name. I ain't gotta be a rapper with a chain, cause the rules are kinda different when you're badding up the game. Straight, badding up the game, bad it up again. Had him up before, I have him up again. Fake brothers, man, your man and more pretend. By himself, he's battle with his friends. You man are so insecure, man, it's a joke. I need a ball in the York, cause I'm the goal. If you believe in your source, then raise a toast. These are some genius thoughts, so make the most. Told her, say me some. I need all the homage, could you pay me some? Man, I'm dropping bangers on your baby mums. Girls say I'm rude, they wanna see me nude. My name's Stiff Chocolate, I got nothing left to prove. I got holes in my lapel, rubbing shoulders with your girl. Which one of said that I will go to jail? Well, I guess you have to hold the L. Tell them this is London City, we the hottest in the world. What we telling them, look.
Our next Pride Court member was adopted from Kazakhstan when she was 3 years old. She's a sustainability studies major with 2 minors in disability studies and journalism. She's also the vice president of Hofstra Women's Rugby and hopes to travel the world after she graduates. Introducing Agulla Fitzgerald.
Thanks for coming.
Now, Agulla, your first question. What is your most meaningful experience at Hofstra?
I think my most meaningful experience at Hofstra would be the time that I've spent with my rugby team. It has challenged me physically, emotionally, mentally, socially, all 4 different ways. You know, physically, I came into college knowing that I was going to join a sport, but really wanted to push myself and try something new, and rugby was just that. It also has pushed me, emotionally and mentally. They've become my family. They support me through the good and the bad. They're there at my lowest and at my highest. And, they really give me that support that I need. And I hope that I give them that as well. And, socially as well, because our group is so diverse and our team is made up of people from all different types of walks of life, which is really cool because, you learn to appreciate people for who they really are and not just who they present themselves to be or think they are, or who you think they are. So it's really cool. It's a very nice support system. We have so much fun. It's crazy all the time. There's never a dull moment with the rugby team. So yeah.
And your next question, you're a new addition to the crayon box. What color would you be and why?
Ooh, that's a good question. I don't know. I think I would be a mix of pink, blue, and yellow. I have to, support my pansexuals out there. So yeah, I think I'd be maybe like a tie-dye version of pink, yellow, and blue all mixed. Also, or maybe throw red in there. Who knows? But yeah, I think I would be a mix of those three colors.
Awesome. Now let's see Agulla's talent. I'm sure she really puts her heart into it.
Hey everyone, my name is Agulla Fitzgerald and I'm a senior here at Hofstra University. This year I've had the honor to make it to the Hofstra Pride Royalty Court. So we were asked to showcase some of our talents or activities that we have been involved with since our time at Hofstra. And I wanted to talk about the 3 different clubs that I was in, which was Transcendence, which is my dance team, HUWRFC, which is my rugby team, and the Hofstra Ski and Snowboard Club, since I am a snowboarder. But, you know, I was thinking, and I've been dancing since I was 3. I've been skiing or snowboarding since I was 3, and rugby was a sport that I had never played before college, so I feel it's only right to really focus on my time with Hofstra Rugby. So Hofstra Rugby has meant a lot to me in my college career. You know, it was a brand new sport to me. I'd never played it before, and you know, a lot of the girls were similar in that they had never played rugby before college. So that was really cool, with learning the game and learning the people all at the same time. You know, you really bond with those girls on and off the pitch. We spend way too much time together, or at least did before COVID. So I wanted to share some videos, some photos, some memories from my time here at Hofstra with HUWRFC. Thanks guys so much for watching, and make sure to stick around at the end to cast your vote.
Our next contestant is an international student from Lima, Peru. He's a double major in film and political science, has been a Pride Guide for 3 years, plays Quidditch, and is an active member of Zeta Phi Eta, our communications fraternity on campus. Introducing Dan Pariksotto.
Hey guys, excited to be here.
Okay, your first question, Dan. What is your most meaningful Hofstra experience?
Okay, so first of all, I have to say this was a hard one because I really had to dig through my mind. But I guess like the experience that I ended up choosing was just being a Pride Guide and like working at admissions. And I guess part of what made it so meaningful is just the fact that I did not expect it to be meaningful. Like I joined the Pride Guide team just because I needed a student job and like I did not want to be sitting down in an office. And so like I like talking, so I was like, I'll try it out. And so I signed up, I got hired, and I thought it would be like, just that, like a job, I would get some money and that's it. But it ended up being so much more, and it ended up being so much more fulfilling. Like the people that I met there, my coworkers, the mission counselors, everybody like just made a very like, besides making a very big and like, I don't know, I guess nice environment, I just established this like connections that went well beyond the workspace. And then also just being able to introduce new people to the Pride and being that first person that makes them kind of feel like they can fit in the Hofstra community, that really ended up feeling so great. I remember one time I was a junior and I was in an event directed for freshmen because I was kind of like leading it. It was not an admissions event, it was from one of my organizations. And this freshman comes to me and she goes, "Oh, hi, you gave me my tour." And I was like, what? Like I got so excited because like it felt like a really full circle moment, because like I was the first person to introduce her to like Hofstra and everything we stand for, and she ended up feeling like she belonged here and ended up coming here. So that really felt really fulfilling, because you feel like Hofstra has done so much for me and I have grown here and everything, and so I'm kind of like helping other people see that and helping other people get in that same path even before they actually like make their final decision. And I think that's, I don't know, I just love that feeling. And it's a feeling that has been repeated since sophomore year that I started in the job and all the way to now.
And your second question, if you could be one Disney Channel character, who would you be and why?
Okay, so even though I'm not a woman, I absolutely love Mulan. I remember when I was a child, Mulan was actually like one of my favorite films for some reason. And yes, I just really identify with her, I guess. And she's like both like, she's brave and everything, but she's also just like funny, and a little bit at some points in the film, she's like a little bit ridiculous in a good sense. And like, I feel like I'm like that as well. Like I can be very serious and I can take everything super seriously every now and then, like when I have to, but then at some other points I'm like kind of dumb, I'm not gonna lie, and just like and do stuff that I'm not really good at, but like I still try. And so I really identify with Mulan, I guess, as a character, so I would say that.
And now it's time to see Dan's talent. He really cooked up something special for us.
Hey guys, so for those of you who don't know me or who already forgot, my name is Dan and I'm a film on both sides double major, and I am so excited to be part of the Pride Corps for this year. And now, I know this is a talent showcase and I don't have any talents. I don't sing, I don't dance, I barely act, I don't juggle, but I'm a pretty good cook, so that's what we're going to be doing today. We're going to be cooking, and we're going to be doing a recipe from my country, from Peru, that's actually so easy and with ingredients that you can find anywhere. So it's going to be fun. We're going to be making a Peruvian style chicken stir fry, and yeah, I'm excited, so let's get started. Great, so here's our ingredients. As you can see, it's nothing crazy. You can get anything just like in any store. You have a chicken breast and some cilantro, a potato, which you have already peeled, just for convenience, a tomato, some onion, pepper and salt, obviously, vinegar, soy sauce, and I use olive oil, but you can just use any oil you have. It honestly doesn't matter. Okay, great. So let's start by chopping the chicken. I already kind of chopped it in two, and yeah, so let's start with like this very long like cuts. As you can see, we're chopping in like quite big pieces, like big-ish. Okay, great, so let's do the onions now. So, because I'm not doing that much, I just have to do one. And it's actually, so you gotta do it in like big pieces, like actually really big. Normally do listening to K-pop right now, or like, well, one of my mini playlists, but like half of my playlists are K-pop, so I would normally be listening to K-pop. I'm a K-pop stan. I think that's something you should know about me. I have the fan counts and everything, like, it's bad. But, I don't know, it's time to I guess. Big chunks are our friends for this, especially because like tomato, it kind of like loses water as it gets cooked. So like you really need that. But yeah, tomato's done. So the pan is on high heat, and we're just gonna, the oil is already like very hot, so we're just gonna put all the potatoes over there, and we're just gonna fry it. Okay, great. So these are done now. As you can see, they have like this very kind of brown complexity. That's what we want. As the oil is heating up, we are just gonna season our chicken real quick with salt and pepper. It's all ready. And so this chicken is gonna be there on its own until it is lightly cooked. The next step is going to be putting in the onion. Ouch. Again, some oil, Anyway, you are going to do this with the onion and just keep the two, so chicken and onion only, until the onion starts losing its color. So until it starts getting whiter and whiter. It's already like pretty white. I mean, not entirely white, but that means our next step is here, and that is putting on the soy sauce and the vinegar. Yeah, I think this is ready for the next step, which is just putting the tomatoes. Again, the tomatoes get cooked super quick. That's why you put it at the very end. You don't want it to be like all mushy, but you do want it to like drain some of its water. And that's it. So our stew / stir fry is now ready, and now it's time to serve. And that's it. As you saw, it is so easy. So even if you're like struggling with frying eggs, I am completely sure that you are more than able to do this. And yeah, thank you so much for joining me. Stay great, stay safe, and go Pride.
And now we have a senior resident assistant and new student orientation leader majoring in marketing. She works in the Frank G. Zard School of Business and is an active member of Alpha Kappa Psi Business Fraternity and Alpha Epsilon Phi Sorority. Introducing Ashley Rivera.
Hi everyone, thank you so much for coming. I'm so excited for tonight, and I hope that you enjoy not only my video, but everyone else on the course as well.
Okay, Ashley, your first question. What is your most meaningful experience at Hofstra?
My most meaningful experience has definitely been getting involved in residence life. So my first week here, I talked to my RA, Mackenzie, and I asked her how I could be an RA, how I can get involved. And she mentioned that I should join the Residence Hall Association, and so that's exactly what I did. Joining RHA has been an incredible experience, but it also is an incredible springboard. So it allowed me to gain experience to become an RA, which then parlayed into me becoming an orientation leader. And then that encouraged me to join the Gold Leadership Academy. And then from there, I was encouraged to join, to become an SRA, so senior resident assistant. So I think had I not had that one conversation and joined that one club, which just seems like a club at the moment, I would have never been where I am today.
And your final question, if money were not an issue, what imaginary profession would you pursue?
What imaginary profession? Oh boy, maybe, imaginary profession, probably like a unicorn trainer. I like working with people, I like working with animals, so like if it's gonna be imaginary, I think I'm gonna go all the way and just be like a unicorn trainer.
And now it's time to take a look at Ashley's talent. She's really put some work into this over time.
Hi everyone, my name is Ashley Rivera and I am a senior marketing major here at Hofstra University. On campus, I am a senior resident assistant, new student orientation leader, and a member of Alpha Kappa Psi and Alpha Epsilon Phi. Like many others, being sent home made me miss the friends that I would normally see every day. I found a lot of peace in looking at old videos and pictures of the good old days. Because of this, I decided that I wanted to document every day of senior year, or as many days as I could. Whether it be a really big moment in my life or a really good pizza, I wanted to look back at this time and smile, so I hope you enjoy.
Our next Pride Court member is a public relations major from Clarksville, Tennessee. She was a Welcome Week leader her junior year, an orientation leader her senior year, and is the public relations chair for Hofstra Latin and Ballroom Dance Club. Moreover, she has pet numerous Hofstra cats. Introducing Essence Brown.
Hello, thank you all for coming.
Essence, your first question. What is your most meaningful Hofstra experience?
I think my most meaningful experience at Hofstra was during this summer. It was my first time working as an orientation leader and we did it all virtual. And at first I was kind of nervous, but then over training, I got to meet the other OLs. And then once we actually started up orientation, we had our rocky moments, but at the end of the day, we were all still giving our best. And I don't know, it was a real bonding experience. And then being able to help out the incoming students, I can't really put it into words, but it was a good time.
And your final question, if you could have any superpower, what would it be and how would you use it?
One superpower. I guess if I could have a superpower, me and my friends were just talking about this last week. I would want to be able to control time, just to be able to stop it for as long as I want. I feel like that could really help with procrastinating. I'd probably be able to get 8 hours of sleep and just do everything I want to.
And now for Essence's talent. I'll see you on the dance floor.
Hello! So for my talent, I will be showing some clips of me ballroom dancing. I started dancing after joining our ballroom club during my sophomore year here at Hofstra, and since then I've been able to make so many new friends and pick up a hobby that really challenges me to give my all and strive for my best. Because of COVID, I'm not really able to practice, so all clips shown are from pre-COVID at some of the competitions we attended, with one clip taking place when my partner and I were practicing. Speaking of, I want to give a shout out to said partner for putting this together. Thank you, Franz. And I hope you all enjoy. Thank you for watching.
And thank you, Messi, for that walk. And let's bring group one to the tango now. Group two, if you're in the tango.
next contestant is originally from Massapequa, New York, and is double majoring in history and audio radio production. He has been a senior resident assistant for 2 years, as well as president of the Hofstra Dutchman for 2 years. Moreover, he's a producer for Rock and Roll Oasis at WRHU, our on-campus radio station. Introducing Mikey O'Malley.
Hey everyone, thanks for coming.
Your first question, Mikey. What is your most meaningful Hofstra experience?
So my most meaningful experience here at Hofstra has to be the Pete Telehawk Memorial Concert that happens every year in the fall. Being a member of the Hofstra Dutchman, Hofstra's all-male a cappella group, Pete was one of our founding members of the group. And I think anyone who's been in the Dutchman can sort of speak on what the concert means to us, because the Dutchman means so much to us. Throughout our entire college experience, a lot of us will say the Dutchman is one of our more prominent and proud experiences while we're here at Hofstra. And the concert every year is sort of just a reminder of that, and more in general, just seeing the Hofstra community come together for that concert, for his parents, for all the groups he was a part of, to see what he helped build here at Hofstra is always amazing, because most of us never really knew Pete. So to see a bunch of years later, people still showing up to this concert and still showing their support, and a lot of the time it runs over 3 hours, just because we have so many participants and such a large audience that people actually end up standing in the back, is really just one of the more surreal feelings here at Hofstra, just seeing that sense of community that can be built.
And your final question, who is your most inspirational fictional character and why?
Ooh, that's a tough one. Fictional character. I guess I'd go with Sam from Supernatural. He's one of the main characters, and I'm like super into that show right now, and it's about to wrap up its 15 seasons. But probably Sam from Supernatural. If you haven't seen the show, essentially, it's about these two brothers, Sam and Dean, who essentially try and do the right thing always, and save people from supernatural things like monsters and the devil and things like that. But Sam's probably one of my more inspiring characters, just because no matter how tough things get, no matter how down they may be, he's always still trying to put others before himself and do the right thing in the end, which is something I try to aspire to be in my daily life, is just put others before myself. And at the end of the day, even if it's not exactly what I might want for my own self, do what I think is the morally right thing.
And now let's see Mikey's talent. He's put together quite the song for us.
Alright, so one of the songs that I'm producing right now for an independent study here at Hofstra is called Mark of Cain. Me and Matt's the co-lead singer of the band and rhythm guitarist. There was one day we were just sitting in his basement, in his music room, doing our normal thing, just jamming, and he showed off this chord progression he had, because he was like, I want to write a song. So he showed off this chord progression, and it was kind of like, and immediately from there, it was just like, it was, for some reason, it was the way he played it. It just gave me the idea for the solo, which was like, and it just felt sort of like spooky for whatever reason. It was in the middle of August. There was no reason for it, but it eventually came together to sound like this, which is the main part of the song. So the first step to the recording process is actually my least favorite part, which is setting up the sessions. Essentially what I do is, if you can see this, essentially what I have to do is I have to go through, make the session, make all of these tracks for all the recorded pieces. You know, you scroll down forever to get there. I have to count out the entire song in my head and leave markers like introduction, acoustic intro, verse 1, drums come in here, bass comes in here. So that's the first step. The rest of the process has to do with getting the right equipment. So over here we have a Shure SM27, some XLR attached to it. We have a pop filter, headphones, Scarlett 4i4 interface, and Pro Tools. Essentially, the next part is getting the equipment, setting it up, especially when it comes to drums, because drums is the first thing you track first. You have a room full of probably 7 or 8 mics, just all mic'd up on different pieces of the kit, and you gotta listen to each one and move each one until you get the sound you want. And then you do multiple takes, you do 3 takes, 4 takes, whatever it takes, no pun intended, to have enough to take the best of each take and make a perfect take. My favorite thing to record is probably vocals. A lot of people will tell you differently because editing vocals is very, very hard if you don't get what you need during the recording process. But there's just something about tracking vocals where like you get a good take and like that lead singer nails that part where you're just like, that was it. That's gonna make a huge difference in the song. Like I can do this, that, and the other thing to it and really bring that out in the mix. So the mixing process, once you have all your edits done, so you have perfect takes of everything, you know, the first step for me at least is tuning. I guess that's part of the editing stage, but auto-tune, which, you know, never shown it because you have it. And then the next thing I do is I sort of add EQ, which is pretty much the color of the sound, how it comes across the speakers. And then I sort of compress it so it's, if there's a really quiet part, you still hear it among the louder parts. And then I add a reverb, and for this song I added a tape delay, which sort of gives it like almost like you're in a tunnel where it's echo, echo, echo. Sort of add the effects, the mixing that I did a couple of minutes ago to get that sort of echoey effect. You'll hear the difference in just the vocals here.
But even if I strike them down, slam them all in a cage deep inside your brain, still a haunted house remains.
It makes it a little bit more spooky, distant, eerie. Yeah, mixing is all about creativity and adding the effects that you think will carry the emotion of the song.
But even if I strike them down, slam them all in a cage deep inside your brain, still a haunted house remains. And you're branded with the mark of Cain. Your chest is a graveyard that you're a slave of, so your haunted house remains.
Our final court member is a public relations major from Wallkill, New York. She has been involved in the Student Government Association since coming to Hofstra and served as the SGA president for the 2019 to 2020 academic year. She is also an active member of Zeta Phi Eta, our campus communications fraternity, and is an active member of PRISA, the Public Relations Student Society of America. Introducing Catherine Harley.
Hi everybody, thank you so much for tuning in today.
Okay, Catherine, your first question. What is your most meaningful experience at Hofstra?
I would have to say that my most meaningful experience at Hofstra has been just kind of overall my involvement in SGA, along with serving as president. I didn't really realize how much leadership meant to me until I stepped into that role. It taught me so much about myself, but more importantly, it taught me about other people. It taught me how much I value helping others kind of see their visions come to light, how important it was to me to understand different perspectives and different backgrounds of people, to adequately represent them, amplify their voice, really empower them to get the change that they wanted on campus done and help them in whatever way that I could. So I would say that just even professionally, it taught me skills that I'm going to take so far into my life. It means so much to me to be able to help others with their visions and kind of just empower and amplify their voices. So I think that it taught me a lot about who I am as a person, how I interact with other people, and just kind of taught me life lessons about working with others that I will, never forget. So that's probably the most meaningful thing that's happened to me at Hofstra.
And your final question, if you could be any animal, what would you be and why?
Wow, that's a question. So I think I enjoy a platypus. I think platypuses are like super unique. They're super fun. They're like fun to look at, but also they get to explore the sea and the land. So I think that that's awesome. I mean, I don't think that I want to just choose one. I think that it would be kind of fun to swim around, but also be able to walk around on land. So I think I would have to choose a platypus.
And now, let's take a look at Catherine's talent.
Hi everybody, my name is Catherine Harley, and this is Catherine on the Street, not to be confused or associated with Billy on the Street. This is an original idea. I'm running for Pride Court, and when they first asked me what my talent is, my first reaction was to say, oh, nothing. But then I really sat and thought about it. And I realized I'm an excessive talker. So this is where I interviewed a bunch of my different friends to allow you to get to know me. Let's get started. By the way, all of these interviews followed COVID guidelines from Hofstra and the CDC. So enjoy. I'm joined by Kayla Dimes, my former SGA Vice President. Kayla, what's your favorite memory of me?
My favorite Catherine Harley memory is when she did a Hofstra SGA takeover and she accidentally ate a rice cake live on Instagram and the Hofstra School of Comm tuned in. Hee hee.
That is true. I'm so sorry, David Henny. So Thomas and I are in Zeta Phi Eta together, and I just so happen to be his big. Thomas, how do you feel about me being your big?
I feel really good. I'm glad that we both cut our hair at the beginning of quarantine so we could both struggle with our confidence.
Curtain bangs are in style right now, so I'd just like to go on record with that one.
I'll take that, thank you. Hello, everyone. My name is Tara Stark, your fellow commuter, your fellow transfer, your fellow SGA president. I'm so happy to be here, as always. Oh, and did I mention your fellow orientation leader, too? Always happy to be here. Always.
Thanks, Tara. Did you know that I also happen to be SGA president? So do you think that you're, better than me? Do you think you did a better job than me?
To be thorough and transparent, yes.
Well, as a tour guide on campus, so I have to ask him, Will, do you think that I would make a good tour guide?
Sure.
You didn't sound very confident in an answer. Any reason why?
I mean, anybody could be a tour guide. It just takes a lot of practice.
Oh, so should I practice now? Okay. So, welcome students. Behind me, you'll see Breslin Hall, personally one of my favorites on campus. I've only cried in 4 of the classrooms, and I've only fallen down 3 flights of stairs. Okay, Will, what'd you think?
That was great.
What do you think the people should know about me?
I think they should know what outfit you wore when you met One Direction. I think that says enough about your taste.
That was really low. Christina's known me since freshman year. So, Christina, how many times did you see me cry freshman year?
Do you mean per day, per week, per hour?
Speaks volumes. I'm joined by Alexa, one of my best friends. So, Alexa, what's it like being my friend?
Do you want to do this now?
Is there an issue?
I just think we could totally do this off camera, maybe.
But she says it's great. Maria, who's your favorite TikTok star?
Right now it is Quenlin Blackwell. She lives with Diplo and she's doing a series called Living with Diplo.
So it's not me. So it's not me.
No.
Just say it.
Catherine, how could it be you? You only had 1 viral TikTok.
Cut the camera. Do you think I'm a good fit for Pride Court?
No.
Sure.
I actually have to go.
Oh, but you told me you were free, but... Ta!
I'm going to be honest with you, I don't think so.
If you thought your bangs were good, I believe you can do anything you set your mind to.
Pride Court's not for everyone.
So as you can see, I'm a great contender for Pride Court. I'm just kidding. Vote for me if you want, or vote for everybody else because they are so talented and so wonderful. Thanks for watching. Stay safe and wear your mask. Bye. I need new friends. Anything else you'd like to add?
Can I get paid now?
And now, it's time for you to vote. Remember, use the link in the description, head to Get Involved HU, and then RSVP for the event if you haven't already. You'll only receive the post-event survey if you have RSVP'd. Once you receive it, select your top 4 candidates who you think should be crowned Hofstra Pride Court royalty. Now bear in mind that only those votes sent in by Saturday, November 7th at 9 p.m. will be counted. So make sure you get on that. And then we have several people to thank. First, our amazing Pride Court members who have continued to stay active in their campus community even while being remote. Next, Chris Gadd for editing this video, as well as Colin Sullivan from Communications, Tommy Finks, Eric McKennethan, Sam Klockner-Shazinski, and Alexandra Federico from Student Leadership and Engagement for marketing this video, our esteemed judges, all of my colleagues across the Division of Student Affairs who nominated several of the Pride Court members you saw tonight, and of course you, our amazing audience. With COVID-19, it's nice to see that these Hofstra traditions are still being supported and so many people want them to continue. So until next time, I've been your host Kareem. Follow us on Hofstra OSLE, that's where we'll be posting our winners. And stay safe everyone. Take care.